Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back.
We'll wait a couple more minutes for people to come in. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet.
Yeah, so we wait a little while. So when you arrive in the space, just enjoy the fact that everybody's coming in and connect to them and feel what a precious moment it is today to be together for this beautiful meditation and gathering we are in at the moment. So we hope you've had a great week. And for those of you who are new, the meditation of last week is on this group page. You can always find anything we post under announcements or the button that is called featured. That's where you can find anything we post. So if you're still looking for the one from last week, it's there. And welcome to all new people, and welcome again to everybody who was there also last week. It's wonderful to have you here, that you found us. And be aware also for if you have friends or people who you feel might be interested in this channel, then invite them in. Everybody's still welcome. They can still do all the meditations. So it's open, just that you know.
Yeah, we hope that you benefited from yesterday's new moon and solar eclipse. We had a beautiful offline meditation at the peak of this eclipse, and really amazing energies coming through. Really, really, really beautiful. Yeah.
It was very strong, the rising energy, the new intentions. I still feel them in the fields. You feel it still like growing, and it's very open and potent for future visions and future creations. So it's fantastic that we meet also today to be in that slipstream almost. But I mean, this effect will be way longer than just this weekend.
Yeah, the creativity in the field is really potent, isn't it? This potential is
Yeah,
so strong right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And it's also interesting because we learn day by day as we prepare and work in this channel now what it truly means to create from this perspective. I mean, we've never could imagine that the information we receive on that level is coming in as it is coming in now. And I'm sure we'll all collectively learn about what creation means in these new fields. And we invite you also to share that in the group, how you experience it, how it works for you, or what does not work, so that we learn all together and opening up to this whole new field of exploration of what creation is truly about from this perspective of what we call the new era or the new earth, or the whole harmonic way that we are foreseeing for Gaia Earth. Yeah.
yeah, there's so much wisdom in this channel. So we really, really encourage you to share your
Yeah.
wisdom, share your insights, so that these are treasures that we can give each other. And
Yeah.
these are precious channels where we can really exchange and make our wisdom grow collectively. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also good because we have received through our email or chat box many individual questions about personal processes. And I mean, we are really sorry, but we are not able, unfortunately, to respond to individual questions about your personal processes. I mean, we're really a very small team. I mean, Anna and I, we are doing this kind of work, and we're constantly in the fields, and we have a back office of people who are helping us and volunteers, but there's no way we can tap into personal processes in our capacity. But also I think and we also invite you to share it within the group, because
Mm.
there's so many people in the group who have a tremendous wisdom and understanding, and we can all benefit from each other's perspectives. And what Anna and I do is that we go through as many posts as we see or responses, and if we understand the themes that are in there, then we are taking it on and meditate on it and feel into it if it requires or if it needs to be brought into this central process. So that's how we work with it. That is possible for us, and often also we see that. I mean, every process is almost always also a collective process or something that another person recognizes.
Yes.
So we'll do our best, but we really have, yeah, I mean, we have to say also to you that it is just impossible for us to go on individual response. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of our back office and community members that we just wanted to bring attention to, we have a team of 6 back office members who, without whom none of this would be possible, and we have dozens of school community members that are supporting us also, so that this channel can really be as pure as possible, to support the process of everyone. So we would like to bring all of those people into the awareness of everyone, so that they can be held in this field of love, and that they can also be nourished deeply from this process.
Yeah, it's incredible what they do. And yeah, and I also want to just, maybe you came in a little bit later, welcome everybody, also everybody who's new to our work, new to this channel. And we always say whatever, you received this morning, either within this talk that we do just before we start the meditation, or within the meditation, really only take in what resonates with you. So honor your own guidance, your inner guidance, in all cases. Yeah. So there might be information in there on many levels, so you can work with that if you feel called to, but really only take in what resonates from whatever we say.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important.
And also
We
within
all,
the meditations, when we do the guided meditations, feel free to follow the meditation as we guide it. Or if you are called to just stay in your heart and just be in the field and hold space, it's wonderful. It's perfect. Or you may also be guided to do your own journey in another way within this collective field that we build up. So everything is possible. Follow your own inner navigation system. We say over and over and
yeah,
over again. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And I have,
also
yeah, sorry.
for the well, I just wanted to say, if you like what we do, please like our page, because it also helps others find us, so we can build in numbers to do this work. It's so important to be building these channels of love and light. It's one of the greatest services we can do today with the transition that's going on.
Oh, yeah, and it has also a practical component, because sometimes we will be going through our main page, either because there's something with Facebook going on or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So then you can easily find it. It pops up, and it could be that we also will be doing something on the main page within this channel. So it's also for that reason very practical to like the page or follow the page.
So,
Yeah,
Petra, could you say a little bit about the seeding of the new earth? We've been talking about this so much, and
yeah,
you talk about
yeah,
it in such a nice way. If you could maybe share some
yeah,
insights.
yeah. It's, I mean, we've been working, it came into the field in the first day meditation, very strong information on seeding the new earth. And we really understood that the great genesis, as we are going through this process in this almost this capsule where we are in, is about the seeding of the new earth. And it's been really made very clear by the light realms that we carry these seeds in our original blueprints. All of us called into this specific channel, we are carrying these seeds. And we made a kind of the comparison with last year's great passage, which is really the energy of moving through a channel into the new. So that is a start of any process we are always in, and specifically now on a collective level. And we've passed the rainbow bridge, that's how we called it, with all of our soul family, which is still going on, and to move our consciousness into the field of new creation and to fully align with the new earth, what that really means, and a whole new civilization based in community, in sovereignty, and very authentic freedom. And in this field, we together create the basis of the new earth. And we always come from a place that we know that every creation starts within us. There's no other way. This is the game of the earth, if you like. And through the field of the weeks to come, our collective heart energies will amplify and amplify, which will reveal creations based in harmony, because there's no other way. The heart will always create from a place of harmony, and these creations will manifest in real earth experience through the intelligence of the universal laws of one. It's a universal law that it works like that. There's nothing we have to do about that part. That is just a reflection of what it is that is moving into our heart and what we create from there. And be aware that these creations will be different for each of us, which is the beauty of it, because we're all different in this web of life, all unique. We are all needed in this seeding process. All the seeds needs to be brought into the earth, if you like that kind of saying. But be aware that all these seeds will be beautifully complementary and harmonious in resonance, because they will be heart creations. Yeah, that's what we are doing. So be very much aware of this seed inside of you, and many might have a very clear remembrance even that they came to earth with this almost this purpose carried in their DNA, that they have come for this time. And these times are not easy for none of us. Yet we are all prepared. We are all equipped. We can rely on that we are all equipped perfectly as it needs to be here to seed what it is that we are carrying that needs to be seeded. And just feel into, if you're not used maybe to this process, that our collective fields, as we build it also here all together, go inside and feel how it continues to amplify. Yeah. And what happens when a field amplifies like that, it will bring us into more inner courage, the courage that comes really from the heart, the almost choiceless choices that we call them often, because if it comes from the heart and we own that, we are that, we overcome any fear, yeah, to stand for who we are and for what we are called to do, and in this great collective adventure that we're in. And also we encourage everybody, if it's difficult, to see it as an adventure, because it is an adventure where we have to overcome things, and then we are successful in overcoming, and it goes with ups and downs. But keep it at a certain level playful, so then it keeps moving, because it will pass. Everything that's happening will pass, and we can, that's for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also
Yeah.
important to not be fixated on when it passes, because actually, we as humans, we are actually built to thrive when things are difficult. This
Yeah.
is when we really shine. This is when we really, really we go deep into ourselves. When things are really comfortable, we don't have that push in a way to really go inside. Well, now that things are difficult, this is their time to shine. We are wired for it. Let's remember that we're wired for it, and let's show how
Yeah.
what we're built of. I mean, really. So, I mean, it's an extraordinary opportunity. We are
Yeah.
really authoring our lives right now. Yeah. It's um it's an extraordinary time to remember our capacity to create. It's a great wake-up call to step out of our greatest fear. So, and what is that fear? many of us think that our greatest fear is death, but actually, I think that it's actually the greatest fear is to be fully alive, to taking the risk to express the light that we carry and the love that we carry inside. So this is what the challenge is right now, is to express our light, express our love. And, we are all artists of our own lives. We are the storytellers of our own tale. We have the capacity to create narratives. Uh, our whole human story, our whole human history, her story, is a narrative. It's all a story. And we are being offered to take back our authorship, our authority of our own story, rather than allowing somebody else to write it for us. Right now, it's an extraordinary opportunity.
It's such a deep moments, and to really take time for that also in this coming week, because the theme is so obvious about this authority from a space of love and light, to realize that we are that authority in ourselves brings all the power back to us in a way. Yeah.
Absolutely. And our biggest creation is the story of our lives.
Yeah.
So we are in the process of remembering to bring our minds back into a space of unlimited possibilities so that we're no longer afraid of what we don't understand. Yeah. And we become comfortable in engaging with the great mystery, because well, the great mystery is always going to be beyond our comprehension. It's always going to be something that's unknown, but yet stepping into this unknown, this is probably the greatest cure for all diseases that are present in the world today. When we cure our own story by making it one that's heart-based and anchored in love through a process of entering into the great mystery.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinary process.
Yeah. It's trust also in the divine guidance, and this whole time. And I feel that every time, the moment I move into that trust, if there's a moment of distrust or forgetting, then the divine is always reacting with such a nourishment and treatment, and also showing the miracles that we just need to ask for, that whatever we need,
Yeah.
to the to the angelic realms, to whatever guidance you have yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and we know that the reality that we are creating collectively as a human heart family will be a reflection of our love-based perception. It will
Yeah.
be the result of the divine feminine and the divine masculine inside of us dancing together in a harmonious way. And it will be the result of living fully from our heart.
Yeah.
So, the manifestations of this heart-based consciousness will show us our own power as creator beings in making paradise on earth. This is the direction that we are going right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Wow. Thank you
consciously.
for that. Yeah. I mean, I really also feel we need to talk maybe a little bit more about creation and what we want to bring to the attention of all of us, because we spoke about creation mechanisms last week, yeah, and that's creating out of a reaction to something that already exists is not pure creation. It is a form of creation, but it's not the pure creation of the new. So rather, it is then a reference to something that already is, something we know, something we've lived. And then it is a kind of variation on a theme that is already there. We feel with this creation process we are in at the moment, what is asked from us is to move into a state of what we call pure creation. And it comes from joyfully following your hearts without any attachment to outcome, without any desire, any needs that comes from a place of something we need. I mean, it comes from total surrender to the higher heart intelligence. and then surrender to the direction of the higher self through the sacred space of the hearts. Yeah. And I think when we follow the path of the hearts, which is at the center of all our work, an architecture is revealed over time that is so incredibly intelligent, complex in its wholeness, that we could never invent that simply from the space of the mind. I mean, it is way beyond what we with our minds can create in a way. So, I mean, in this space, we follow the heart every step of the way, and the fullness of creation is seen only when we look back at the full picture that has been revealed. And yeah, I think that is really the challenge for us. Also, those who are grown up in the West, we're so used to create from a place which let's say is the opposite of surrender into the field what wants to be revealed. We're really like, proactive, mind-based creators often. And that is a form of creation. But we feel with the new era, we need to move into such a guidance and such a flow of life from nothing, from nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and let ourselves be surprised.
Yeah, we can really only do that when we accept that we honestly have no idea what will happen tomorrow. And we
Yeah,
get very comfortable
yeah,
with not knowing. So
yeah,
that's not easy for some people to surrender. I mean, it's really living a life in total trust and surrender. This is a great time to practice that.
yeah,
So, in that sense, we only have the present moment. And though we can have all kinds of plans for the future, and we do, we love our plans for the future. Um, at the same time, we have to not attach to those plans because
that's yeah,
that's this is key. So we're really free to create as creator beings in the present, to be completely engaged in our creation, but not to be imprisoned by a limited idea about the outcome of our creation.
yeah.
This requires
Maybe it's
practice.
yeah, it does. And it also requires, I feel what helped me a lot is that you keep that also playful, the not knowing, because I remember myself, I love to know in a way where my life is heading at a certain moment. I don't like it at all anymore, actually. I really prefer the not knowing, but it wasn't like that all the time. And for me, it worked like to see it as a game, like when you are going to go on a search with little children in the forest to do a game, like what's behind the next tree. It's a little bit of that, and it really helped me to be with it very playfully, to about the not knowing, not have any idea, but in full trust, in step into the game. Yeah. I
Mm,
was thinking when you were talking, Anna, maybe it's good that we share a little bit about the brainwave frequency that are in the field. Is that something you can
yeah.
maybe bring in a little bit more? Because I think it's important that people understand what's happening there.
Yeah, the brainwaves. I think that we are starting to know more and more about brainwaves and how these affect the way that we engage with the world. So in our day-to-day lives, when we're organizing ourselves, our families, our work tasks, we're frequently in beta frequencies, brainwaves. It's an organizational brainwave. It's not a creative brainwave. It's a brainwave that we are taught in school to be in, actually, most of the time. It's useful for certain aspects of our lives, although we could also discuss about this. We won't go into that now. But yeah, many of us in the Occidental world stay in this brainwave most of the time because we're taught to do that by our culture and by our education. But the thing about the beta brainwaves is that they don't let us go into a creation state. It's the state of an administrative, organizational
Yeah.
mindset. So, in order to access our innate creative abilities, because we are all creator beings, all of us, we can train our brain to move into slower brain waves, so alpha, theta, delta waves. And now there's a whole slew of other brain waves that scientists have found, and I don't have those mapped, but these ones anyway, to know about. And we can do this by connecting to our hearts, relaxing the brain. You can actually consciously send a message to your brain to relax, consciously letting go of any limiting thoughts, moving into a space of total trust and surrender. And as we train ourselves to move into these slower brainwaves, we find that we can adjust our perception of time and space and many other aspects of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you can feel it happening, even if you don't know what these waves are called.
Yeah.
If you're in a yoga class in a very relaxation mode or in a meditation we're doing, it happens on its own, but it's maybe good to know that we are running through these different waves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And I think we've been talking about this, and we really feel that this mastery of these brainwave patterns is something that we feel needs to be done on a widespread scale, because it's connected to our creator abilities. And
Yeah.
when we slow down these ways, we access our deep creative capacities, which are so extraordinary at times that we sometimes don't even know how something has happened. It's
Yeah. And it's, yeah, I also felt we were talking about it this week that it can also be, you can help yourself to be conscious of these states of relaxation or moving into these waves by, for example, using affirmation. Yeah, so that you can set your phone every hour, for example, with an alarm to consciously say, I allow all of these fast beta waves to slow down into alpha waves,
Mhm.
into theta waves. That's a way of going, if that works for you with an affirmation. Or take, set an alarm clock and really move into very soft meditative music or whatever is best for you, that resonates with you. It is a way of reminding the brain throughout the day to follow the guidance of the heart consciousness.
Yeah.
And I feel also it's very important because today and in this whole creation process we are in this gathering, we are deeply guided to move deeper into the space that we call the void. And I mean, and we need to somehow touch or connect or understand or become the void, whatever level you have already worked with it. Which is a place of nothing and nothing. And it requires really to be out of that beta wave, yeah. Because otherwise there's no way we are able to step into that field of infinite potential, which is the base for any creation. Yeah. So it's related. This so we can work with these elements on different levels in the way we are called. So that's why we wanted to give you also different angles and how it will work for you best.
Mhm.
But yeah, and at the same time it also works the other way around. Yes, if you know how to spend time in the void, it is instantly a way of slowing down the brainwave frequency, because the space of nothingness where there is this infinite potential of creation just doesn't allow the brainwave of the beta. So and this is a space, this void, beyond all stories, beyond all personal will, personal desire, beyond any thought form. It is a space of total acceptance of everything that is, which is acceptance and trust is then in that same field. It is the emptiness that is pregnant.
Yeah.
Before creation is set into motion. And because it's impossible to create anything new, as we said, without spending time in the emptiness. So we're really invited to go back in a way in our consciousness or in our remembrance to the void. And the void, in a way, or this whole process can be seen as a death and resurrection process in life. Yeah, death is a word used for the process of dissolution of old perception and the birth of new perception, a whole new program, because we are programmed beings in a way. We're programmed, and we are designed to be master programmers of ourselves and of our creation, and by definition of the universe.
And
So
why
it's
the
very,
universe? Why the universe, Petra?
yeah.
How?
Well, I mean, if we go there, we know we are the universe.
Mhm.
I mean, we are a fractal, and that means that inside of us, we contain the all. So this means that when we go within to make changes, in a way, we have an incredible ability to change all, and I mean all with a capital A. And you said it before, we are the authors. And, we are never powerless. We're always full of power, and that's very important to understand, because in these times of insecurity, sometimes we are drawn into a space of feeling powerless,
Mhm.
which is an absolute illusion. I cannot say it's otherwise, because we are human creators. We are full of power. And this is something we need to own inside of us to be able to move into the new era of creation, and understanding that this power is inside, it's within, it's in us, it's how we are born, it's how we are wired, it's how we are whatever, and it is always accessible to us. I mean, we can see ourselves as a soft technology, but in the overall picture, we are the God self, and that is something we really just need to own and understand, which will be something that we own and understand also when we're working in the void. Yeah.
Yeah, this ownership, I think, is a really key point that you said, Petra, because it is one of the steps of moving into wholeness from separation.
Yeah.
That there is some God outside of ourselves, that is not in ourselves. This is not possible. We are everything because we are fractal of everything. So
Yeah.
we are relearning, we're remembering how to interact with this quantum world in a whole new way that uses and acknowledges our power, and where we're really
Actually.
owning our power. So it's about practice, practice, remembering, and
Yeah.
practice.
And maybe before we go in on I think it's good that we talk a little bit about the process of witnessing,
Mm-hmm.
because that is a very powerful element that comes into the field when we do our journeys,
Mm-hmm.
and also when we are in the process of moving into the void. Do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, yeah. Witnessing is so powerful. It is really a creation mechanism where there's no action per se. Um, it's a really a beautiful way to interface with reality, because there's nothing really to do. We are inherently part of the quantum field, and
Mhm.
just by the fact that we're watching and observing the field, it changes. Not because we want change necessarily, but just by the fact that we are observing it. So there's no desire or directionality involved in this process. There's actually a total neutrality, a total acceptance of what is. But because we're each an informational frequency field, our systems, are coded in certain ways. When this informational vibrational field that we are observes something else in the vibratory universe through the inner realms,
Yeah.
through feeling or sensing or seeing or knowing, however our system works, the observation itself creates changes. That's the nature of quantum physics that we are learning about more and more and more. So
Yeah, and we use that tool often in our meditation, to witness in the field when we are in these high frequencies, to witness specific things of ourselves, from the collective, And in that witnessing, we see the change in the movement often. But I also want to say, in practical day-to-day life, if there's something that is really difficult for you to work on, for example, on a human-to-human basis, because there's no communication, for example, possible, but there's too much tension, emotion, or whatever is in the field, then witnessing is one of the greatest tools that I feel the divine world has given us, to just go inside and witness the situation and be with it. No attachment to outcome, just witnessing. And how then miraculously the whole situation can just turn around completely and come into full harmonic field, or into a movement towards a harmonic situation.
Well, yeah,
So it's
situation that's good for everybody because that's what we
yeah,
want. We want
yeah,
all our
exactly.
outcomes to be the best possible outcome for everyone involved. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting at the end of our talk a little bit. You want to say something more about the book, about this week, or
I did want to say that our next meeting will be on Thursday, not next Sunday, but Thursday, this Thursday,
yeah,
8
yeah,
p.m. So 20 hours Paris time. It's in the evening European time. So it's not a morning session, but it's an evening session.
yeah.
And
So it's 12 hours ahead from where we are now, huh?
yeah, 12 hours later in the
Yeah,
evening
yeah,
European time. And then there was also, you said, Petra, that we are almost, for some of you don't know this, but we have
yeah.
been writing a book. Maybe you could say something about this, Petra?
Yeah, yeah, we've been really in a deep writing process together with Kate Newberg, our scribe, on a gorgeous book throughout the summer period and part of the fall. And we are so happy that all the preparation is done. So we're moving the book now into the hands of printers, and we'll be informing you more about it. I think it's a very helpful book in a way, very inspiring book for anybody who's in this field of work. So, but we'll be informing you more about it. But we are so happy that all the preparation is done now, and we really want to celebrate it also with you a little bit.
This is
So we'll have more information about it later. Yeah,
based on the great passage work of last year, where that many,
yeah,
many of you were a part of. This book
yeah,
arises out of that whole journey that we did together and brings that
yeah.
journey to a whole new level.
Yeah, yeah, that's really great. And I just want to say, just to be very clear on the dates, the next meeting is going to be Thursday, and then afterwards again on Sunday. So the process is intensifying. The work is going to be intensifying in a way more and more. So that's why we are seeing each other twice a week as of the coming Thursday. Yeah. So Thursday, 8 o'clock in the evening, Paris time. So thank you for being with us again. Welcome anybody who came in later. We're gonna make ourselves slowly ready for the journey ahead.
Yeah. So I'll just invite you now to get comfortable. So slowly bring your attention into your inner world, into your inner sanctuary. And breathe in and breathe out. And with each breath, become aware of yourself slowing down and coming back more and more into your center. Take a few more deep breaths in and slowly breathe out, relaxing your whole body with each out breath. Notice that your attention is brought more and more into the inner realms, to the inner planes, with each breath in and each breath out. Slowly release all the cords to the outside world. Release all the stories of the outside world just for this moment in time. Focus all your attention on your beautiful natural breathing, which happens all on its own. Observe the breath as you naturally draw it in and naturally breathe it out. You are breathing air that has been here since the beginning of times. Recognize that this air is one of the basic gifts of your life. It is free and you can breathe it as much as you want. It is an alchemical gift that can be accessed at any time you choose to focus on it. This air holds prana, which is the basic element necessary for all life on earth. Thank creation for this incredible gift, which is so often overlooked and taken for granted. And with each breath in and each breath out, give recognition to the air and to the prana, for these are fundamental to our lives, and life on earth would not be possible without them. And now I invite each and every one, in your own way, to connect to Mother Earth and to the Heavenly Father, and send your love and gratitude to them both for the love and life that you are now living, and for all the gifts you have received throughout your life and your existence. Thank them for the opportunity to be here, for the opportunity to practice your creation skills, for the possibility to test how it is to create in this density. Just stay in this space of love and gratitude for a moment as your heart energy mingles with the love energy of these two forces. This is a sacred moment of just being, of being in the arms of two beloved parents, of understanding that you are the child of these two forces and that you were created out of their love. And now bring your awareness to the sacred space of the heart. Slowly allow yourself to sink into this beautiful inner temple, the seat of your divine being. Just allow yourself to surrender into this space. This is your inner temple from which your life is created according to the divine plan. Allow yourself to be in this space for a few moments, to feel it and to receive any messages that may be waiting there for you today. Feel the field of all the human light workers, all connecting at this moment in time, resonating in this field of love and light, high frequency, vibrational field. All connected through the space of the one heart. Feel the unity in this field. And how we are all one. And see, sense, feel, or know how you are contributing to bringing the frequency of peace into the current life experience. amplify that divine part of you who knows its place, who knows its mission, and who knows its task, who knows the story it wants to create here and now, within the earth realm. And whatever may reveal itself, own that for yourself. This is your truth. And now, from the sacred space of the heart, we will notice our attention being called by the mineral kingdom, and specifically by the rose quartz. The rose quartz is calling you, asking you to come into its essence, into its intelligence. Bring yourself to a rose quartz and enter that rose quartz with your consciousness for a few moments. Sit and observe. Observe as this rose quartz reinforms your system, giving it information it needs at this moment to stay grounded and anchored in the space of love. So just allow yourself to slip into the rose quartz, any rose quartz. It may be one you know. It may be one that you are called to. It makes no difference. And just see, sense, or feel as you sit inside that rose quartz. And allow whatever needs to happen there to happen. To allow yourself to be fully anchored in the here and now, in the earth realm. And from this space, allow yourself to sink into a greater stillness and silence. Totally relax and just surrender into a silence greater than anything you can imagine. This silence is so great, so grand, that it is reflected in the greatest imaginable stillness. And as you feel this stillness, allow yourself to surrender into even greater stillness. All tension dissolves in this space of total emptiness. Allow all tension to completely dissolve. And just allow yourself to fall even deeper within yourself. Invite any place in your body that is still in tension to let go of that tension as you go even deeper into the silence and emptiness. Allow all resistance to dissolve as you move into this space of the greatest imaginable safety, a place to deeply rest. Feel that deep, deep restfulness, that deep, deep nourishment as you let go of absolutely everything to fall into a place of completely natural nourishment. In this space of emptiness that is your natural heritage. It is the basis of who you are. Feel how good it is to let go of all attachments. Feel the bliss in this emptiness. Feel how free you are when there is no story. Feel how liberating it is to be able to just be with nowhere to get to. In this space, there is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. Yet you are fully alive, awake, and conscious. Feel how good it is to be in this bliss of total emptiness. Feel how good it is in this space where you simply are, and allow yourself to be in the beautiful potential of this emptiness. Observe your brain waves. This is effortless and easy. See, sense, or feel these brain waves. There's nothing to do, just observe. Now observe your body, the space in your body. You are mainly space, emptiness. Scan your whole body, your organs, your skeletal system, your nervous system, your brain, your blood. Observe them from this space of emptiness. What do you observe? And what does this tell you about the nature of reality? There's nothing to do. There's no direction to be taken. Simply observation from this state of great spaciousness, of infinite spaciousness. Is there any area of your body that feels denser than the rest? And can you observe that density from this space of emptiness? What do you witness? Are there places that are more spacious and others that are less spacious? And now that you have observed and you can come back to these places anytime you want, bring yourself now into a story in your life that has been feeling difficult or uncomfortable, and observe this story from your emptiness. Stay completely open to all that is happening in this story, while noticing that you are completely empty and residing in a field of love. And now, for the first time, bring in the intention that this situation evolve in such a way that it is aligned with the highest, most beautiful outcome for all involved, in a field of unity, peace, and love. Stay open to witness the evolution without attaching to any particular outcome. Now you may want to bring in another story or a relationship, either to another or to yourself. And again, observe this story or relationship from your emptiness. Stay completely open to all that is happening, while noticing that you are completely empty, residing in a field of love. And once again, bring in the intention that this story or relationship evolve in such a way that it will bring about the highest, most beautiful outcome for all involved, and will come into a field of unity, peace, and love. stay open to observe what happens without expectation to any particular outcome. And now slowly bring your attention back to your sacred space of the heart. Has anything changed here? What do you see, sense, or feel? Slowly bring your attention back to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Bring your attention back to your physical body and slowly start to move parts of your body, small movements to bring you fully back into your physical world. Start to pay attention to the sounds in your environment, the smells in your environment. And stretch your body a little more to reactivate it after this deep meditation. And slowly, and only when you're ready, open your eyes. Adjust your eyesight to the room that you are sitting in, or to the nature around you. Bring your awareness fully back to the here and now. Take a few more deep breaths. And we wish you a beautiful day. Namaste.
Namaste.